would like to thank our amazing sponsors, Touring Plans Travel. Their destination specialists work with you to plan and book your trip. Whether you're traveling to a theme park, headed out on a cruise, or wanting to get away anywhere in the world. As experts in smart travel, their agents suggest the best itineraries and activities to fit your family's needs and handle all the reservations on your behalf. There is no cost to you or your family when using Touring Plans Travel services, and you may even save some money if discounts become available after booking. So head over to touringplans.com/travel and tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Disney World today because we have a trip report.
Yes, I am fresh off
Literally off the airplane. We're actually recording this an hour later because Doug had to get through some
4-hour delay.
Travel. Doug midnight travel.
Oh, don't go with us, folks.
That is an understatement I have learned multiple times. But you're here, you're safe, you're recording the show.
Not sleeping in Chicago Midway.
I was worried for a minute when the weather turned and I was driving through some slush tonight.
The plane we were on is supposed to continue on to Denver.
Oh, good luck.
And right. I was just like, good luck and God bless, because
better than the Twin Cities. If you guys are in, there's a snowstorm. It's coming out. Yeah. Be safe. Listen to some podcasts. Drink some hot chocolate. Thank you.
That's what we're there for.
There you go. And live vicariously through Doug's day and a half at Walt Disney World.
Oh my gosh, it was warm. It was gorgeous, Derek.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Well, first we need to give a shout out to some new Patreons. Suzanne Waddington, Aaron Long, and Upgrade Constant Presley. Thank you so much for joining the Rope Drop Radio community, getting the after show, the bonus show. We're going to have a lot of content here this week and next week as I'll be in Alani. And I really want Doug to bring Sam on to talk a little bit about this trip too. Maybe we can get her onto a Patreon episode.
I'm going to do some bonus audio with Samantha about her UCF trip.
Yes.
So that will be bonus audio, not an after show, because we'll do an after show after this show, because it's the after show. Also, we put an extra after show on from Rope Drop on Deck the other day because we had on a guest.
Nice. There we go. All sorts of stuff. So if you want to get any of that and some swag, some other fun things as well, see more, join the Patreon community. It's in the show notes. And thank you so much, everyone, for supporting the show.
Yes. And speaking of supporting the show, Apple Podcast reviews do that also. And so we're going to read one. You leave a 5-star review, we'll read it eventually, a little behind, which is a good problem, Derek.
Yep. All
right, here's the title. I'm guilty of not leaving a 5-star review sooner.
Well, better late than never. Yay.
All right, I'm coming clean. I have listened to this podcast for almost a year while planning our family's first trip to Disney. Even though it contains 2 charming and talented hosts, oodles of useful information, and fresh content every episode, I was one of those listeners who didn't spend a few minutes leaving a review. How could I? Don't be me. Leave a review already. Needless to say, this is one of the best Disney podcasts out there, and I'm grateful for everything I've learned while listening to it and feel as prepared as I'm going to get for our trip in a few weeks as a result. Thanks, guys. So I hope they had a great trip.
I do, too. Let us know. Want to hear all about it.
Wonder if they're still listening
hope
after
so.
their trip, right?
Yeah, hopefully we gave them good enough advice and we're still there. So at Rope Drop Radio, let us know how the trip went.
And that was, I forgot to say who that was by. That was by Corey Condaro.
Dardo? Oh, we butchered that. Maybe he's not going to.
Please message us. At one point.
Actually, my favorite thing is when people message us that we did butcher their names. We had that a couple weeks ago. It was great.
It's a regular
It happens. Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to talk about this trip that you literally just flew back on. And what I love about this trip is it's a Disney trip, but actually it was a college visit trip, which I still think is an excuse for your daughter to get a Disney trip with her parents.
I mean, maybe that was her grand plan. I don't know. So Samantha is a junior in high school, and so we have started looking at colleges. She's visited University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and she has also visited Purdue University, and now she has visited UCF. She wants to go into aerospace engineering because she's a lot smarter than me. She could actually be a rocket scientist. So those are the places you go. UNL because it's here.
If we have any rocket scientists who listen to the show, message us and we'll, put you in touch with Samantha.
Anybody in the career field that I haven't talked to already, let me know. Some of our listeners have been great help in putting her in touch with people. It's been fantastic. So thank you very much, because I am not in that field. Teeth and rocket science don't mix. So we went to visit UCF. We'll have more about that on a bonus audio. But it was a great visit, sunny, hot, much warmer than the Purdue visit. Let me just say that. Sorry, Purdue, you're in trouble. I think she really liked it. We'll see where things go. Anywho, so we did the tour all day Tuesday, and at about 4 o'clock, we left UCF campus and headed towards Disney World and got to sit on 417 in traffic for an hour. We got there. It took a little over an hour.
Makes you really want to go to UCF right there.
It does. I mean, it's not right by it, so
yeah,
it's the other side of Orlando. But it's not a hard drive.
No,
nope. Not bad. Just we hit the traffic wrong in some construction.
That you just Orlando in general, construction.
Yeah.
All the locals are just nodding their head right now in agreement. So you went to Walt Disney World. Where did you stay and why?
So we drove directly to the resort, checked in, had our we checked in online in advance, went straight to our room. 1 out of 6 magic bands that we took worked to open the door, so that's magical. If you've never had that problem, this is a common Disney World problem at certain resorts. Art of Animation and Contemporary, I think, are the two most notorious. For you get to your room and the magic bands don't work, you go back to the front desk and they're like, oh, they look fine, and then we'll redo it anyway, and then you go back and like 1 out of 5 works. It's frustrating, and it's been that way since magic bands came out. Fortunately, we had one that worked, and it was like one I just threw in the bag in case.
Smart.
Like, almost didn't take it. So, if you have multiple magic bands, take them. And so we stayed in the garden wing, Derek.
Of the Contemporary. You haven't even said that yet, but yes.
No, the garden wing of the Contemporary.
I've stayed there before.
Yeah, you have. I have not.
Oh, there you go.
I've been in the tower numerous times and Bay Lake Tower numerous times, but never in the garden wing. We were trying to watch the budget a hair, and the garden wing is like an entry-level deluxe
Watch
resort.
the budget means go to All Stars, Doug.
Yeah, I know. It was one night. We had limited time, so we wanted to be able to just walk right into the Magic Kingdom and walk out.
That answers my next question. Perfect.
Yeah, that's why we stayed there. But so in true McKnight fashion, Derek, we stayed in the garden wing room that was probably, as the crows fly, we were closer to the lobby of the Wilderness Lodge Resort.
Oh, great resort. Yeah. You could have went to Geyser
we
Point.
would have had to swim, but so... we were looking at the boats going across where they go over the road. We're on the water bridge. We were right over there by that. It was Samantha started the walk, from the lobby of the Contemporary. Actually, right when we got outside, it was 0.20 of a mile, so a fifth of a mile from the lobby to our room. If you're staying in the garden wing, be ready for potential. But other rooms were not bad at all. I mean, we walked past all the rooms. But it was great. The room, they're redone just like in the tower, so they're Incredibles themed. The room we had was a corner, so it had 2 different windows. It was huge, but it did only sleep 4, so we would never have gotten that room if the whole family went, because the other rooms sleep 5. So some of the odd-shaped rooms, because they didn't have anywhere to put a couch because of all the windows, so that's how you sleep that 5th person, right?
Yep.
So... But it was good. It was a nice room, great water pressure. If you needed to strip some paint off of something, it would have worked for that. So I liked the Contemporary. And then, of course, we walked from our room right over to the Magic Kingdom.
Nice. All right. Well, you had one full day at the Magic Kingdom, right? And then a partial day. Oh, you got there.
No, we just had that night.
Night? Okay, and then a partial day at Epcot the next. Okay, this morning.
This is a quick trip, but a lot happened.
Yeah, there you go. So let's talk about, where do you want to start with the Magic Kingdom? What time did you get in? I'm actually curious.
6-ish.
Oh, wow.
6-ish, yeah.
So,
it was open till 11 p.m., though.
You got the Genie Plus, you got Lightning Lane, so I'm sure you're stacking throughout the day in the car. Yep.
Yeah, so we have to back up to 7 a.m. when Michelle books Mine Train for 7 o'clock at night. right? And then we patiently waited for certain things to bump all the way out to the evening and just strategically stack stuff. And we had 8 gazillion things stacked for the last 3-4 hours of park being open. So it worked out really well. We were able to do a ton of stuff, but we got to back up. As we were driving to the resort, we're on World Drive. I'm like, it looks like it's raining up ahead. And Michelle goes, no, that kind of looks like smoke. I'm like, no, it looks like rain. She's like, no, it looks like smoke. So for us here in Nebraska, Kansas likes to light stuff on fire every
I
spring.
get used to that.
Every spring.
Yep.
And then there's like 2 days where we have to cancel like soccer practice and stuff because of the air quality. And it's just this haze.
Yep.
That's what it looked like. And Michelle was right. There was a controlled burn a county or so over, like 40 miles away, and it happened to go up. And then it settles back down for, if you understand the climate and weather patterns, you can explain it.
I'm not a rocket scientist.
You're not going to, I don't think rocket science know that either. But I could have told you that once upon a time. Not anymore. I've gotten old. And so there was ash falling in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, wow.
And reports of an Epcot. However, if you're in Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios,
perfectly fine.
It was fine. It was
Nothing
fine.
wrong. Yep. Well, Animal Kingdom's so far away.
So if I post a lot of pictures over the next week or so, and you see a picture of me in a mask outside at the Magic Kingdom, that is why. Because the air quality was just like, if you have asthma, you shouldn't go outside air quality. And I was like, I'm not sitting in my room. But I carry masks everywhere now, so look at that. We were prepared.
There you go.
So Sam and I were wearing masks because we're both asthmatics. Just want to throw that out there because it probably saved us from having, allergy issues or potential breathing issues or being more prone to like a pneumonia today or tomorrow, because we've been through this in Nebraska and we have learned the hard way that you mask up we've done soccer practices in this air quality and take precautions. It was crazy. I saw ash falling. It was weird.
The world's ending. Seems like something new every day. So there you go. Ash in the Magic Kingdom. Doesn't surprise me of 2023. So let's talk about a little bit more. Where did you guys end up eating dinner at since you're coming in the park at 6 p.m.?
Right. We went straight to dinner. So we divided and conquered. Michelle mobile ordered at Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I have not been there for a while.
But we didn't want to sit outside and eat. We needed to go inside because of air quality, right?
And your waffle.
I don't want ash in my waffles. I want chicken and waffles, not chicken ash and waffles. Well, that's a tongue twister. Say that 3 times, right? Chicken ash and waffles. That would get bad real quick.
Okay.
So I did a mobile order for a side of rice and my pop and some water. I got some glasses of ice water over at Columbia Harbor House. So Michelle and Sam got the waffles, carried them over to Columbia Harbor House, went upstairs, sat where it was nice and quiet, where most people don't even know exists. So we've talked about this for years on the show, and I even had somebody message like, where is this? I posted a picture where you actually can look out windows. There's lots of seats next to the windows. Look out on Fantasyland. And it's so much quieter upstairs. It was basically empty. Downstairs was a zoo, screaming, crying children.
Since pre-pandemic. I'll have to hit that up in June.
It's glorious. It's the way to go. The air conditioning's better. Everything tastes better if you go upstairs. It's just a general rule of thumb. So I ate my waffle from Sleepy Hollow while enjoying the nice air conditioning, the upstairs ambiance of Columbia Harbor House. So don't sleep on Columbia Harbor House's seating upstairs. Never sit down downstairs like a fool. Always go upstairs.
Okay. Good tip.
That's also where the bathrooms are.
Let's talk about, you did a bunch of rides after you ate. Any rides in particular you want to discuss before we get into your nighttime stuff?
So we also hung out a lot with Mr. Alex Sinek of Touring Plans Travel. So he and the 4 of us did a lot of attractions. So Mine Train, Space Mountain, Thunder, all my favorites, right? I did go on Mine Train because it was nice and cool. When the temperature's right, I can do Mine Train. Jungle Cruise, I want to say our skipper was pretty darn good too. I was worried when we got on because he just had this look of, I've been around too many times and I am going to mail it in. but he did a good job. He did a reoccurring joke of, every animal was, did you know the python's the fastest animal? It can run up or move up to 35 miles an hour. So he said that for like all the animals. I kept waiting for a payoff joke of, did you know the elephant is can go up to 35 or, where he tricks you and he's like, no, an elephant goes 12 miles an hour. What are you guys talking about? Because people were starting to answer 35 miles an hour. Right. Yep. He built it up and then we never got the payoff. So I tweeted a picture of Alex on the Jungle Cruise and said, did you know Alex Neck is the fastest animal in the jungle? He can run up to 35 miles an hour. Nobody liked the tweet. I was a little sad.
Well, no one was there to get the joke.
I know, but it was hilarious to me.
Okay.
At like 11 o'clock
Sometimes we tweet
at
things
night.
just to make us laugh.
So we also did Haunted Mansion and Peter Pan. So, I mean, it was a lot of things.
You can get a lot done. When you stack lightning lanes, you can definitely get a lot of things done.
It was a lot of work throughout the day. Michelle had to... There was lots
Michelle had to. Got it.
I didn't do a thing.
No, I know Doug doesn't do things.
No, I don't really... I mobile ordered rice, and it about killed me. No lie. That's one thing I like about the Galactic Star Cruiser, Derek. They just feed me. They take me where I need to go.
There you go.
Things are preloaded on a Magic Band.
Hey, and that's happening end of May. So if you're at Walt Disney World,
May 31st, we get on. You can still book it. Also see us in the Magic Kingdom on the 30th.
Tron. It's happening. All right. And did you get on Tron to this trip? Did you sneak on?
No.
Oh,
no,
darn.
I talked to everybody I knew, and they weren't doing any previews that night. So it wasn't even a fact of no cast member were willing to share a preview with us, or we couldn't sweet talk the right person or slip somebody a 20.
Just weren't doing
it
them
wasn't the hedges were out. So if you know what I mean by the hedges, so Disney, when they need to put up a temporary fence, they put up
a bunch of hedges. The
So
ones
it's
at
a wall of
Ratatouille,
hedges.
I'm pretty sure I thought they were never coming down.
I think the roots grew into the cement at Ratatouille.
Yeah, those hedges were there for a while.
Long time.
So, Nighttime Spectacular, Happily Ever After coming back. Did you, what's going on with the nighttime show?
We did watch the fireworks. We watched the old You Are the Magic is what it should be called, but it's called Enchantment or Enchanted. Enchantment.
Yep.
It's got to be one word because, You Are the Magic is too complicated for people to Google. But I think it does. I don't even know if it says the word enchantment in it.
They don't.
It says You Are the Magic over and over and over. I don't know why. This part of why it's leaving, right?
Yes.
Like, disconnect.
You've also said this on the show so many times. I'm glad that it's leaving.
We have
so
lots
I can
of new
have
listeners.
this ramble of Doug's
You know what's
angry...
coming back, Derek?
What?
Epcot Forever. Temporarily.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
my other rambles. They're just replacing. So I like the new intro where it's Walt and a little bit of that. I don't know why they weren't smart enough to start the 50th celebration with Walt.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it seems like no-brainer, other than maybe the last CEO wanted nothing to do with Walt.
You never know.
It seems weird. He's essentially writing your checks.
I don't know.
But it was good. It's grown on me as a show. The pyro is bigger and better than Happily Ever After. There's just more and bigger. So hopefully the new version of Happily Ever After will have a little update to the pyro. Maybe some update to the music with like Encanto or something. They've said it isn't exactly Happily Ever After, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's still...
Jordan Fisher will be there every single night singing it live.
It's possible. You never know.
That'd be awesome.
He's pretty excited. It's just not fair that we did not see Jordan Fisher, but Michelle did a week before us.
It happens.
We were so close, but she did not get to go on Pandora like we did do.
There you go.
But it was good. The fireworks were good. I didn't have to elbow any small children. No shoulder kids in front of me, Derek.
Good,
no
there you
balloon lady. Not understanding why
Always
they
get a
just need to
balloon
pull
lady.
the balloon down. Everybody's yelling at them behind them, and they can't figure out why. Also, didn't see anybody taking pictures with their flash on. That's another
always a
fun
win.
one. Like, that flash is not going to help that firework picture, but you keep on blinding people.
I just deleted a handful of firework pictures from my phone the other day. I'm like, why did I
Freed
take
up a lot of
so
space.
many? Yeah, my phone's
when
getting a
it's
little
going
full.
on, you just
click,
feel
click,
like,
click.
I need it. And then you post like 2 pictures, and then you never look at them again.
I know.
On fireworks pictures. I barely took any pictures this time. I just watched it. I took a couple pictures. Alex and I talked a little bit through it and annoyed Michelle. This is easy for us to do.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody right by us other than Michelle to annoy.
All right. Well,
just low threshold.
How late did you guys stay at the park since it was open till 11?
It closed at 11. We started walking down Main Street at 11.
Oh, there you go. That's right. You weren't able to rope drop it, but you were closing it down. That's the importance of this show.
We didn't quite jump in a line at closure, right? We walked. UCF is a gigantic campus, like massive. We walked 2 miles on the tour of campus, and there was parts of the tour where like, and down there's more buildings, and over there's some buildings, and there's some buildings, but we're not going to walk to those buildings. We're just going to look at them from here. And at that time in the tour, I was kind of like, this is a lame tour. And then 90 minutes later, I was like, oh my gosh, if we had walked to all the buildings, I wouldn't have made it.
Over under on Sam going to UCF. Thoughts?
50-50?
Okay.
50-50. Don't know. Right. I think it's either Nebraska or UCF at this point. I think
Purdue
Purdue
is out. Nebraska.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good one. That's from
smart people.
Pulling for that one. So anyway, you're walking out at 11. Did you get any snacks, food, anything to finish off the night?
We did. We went to the old ice cream parlor. Samantha claims she's never been. She told Alex that. And Alex then, of course, says your parents are horrible and, blamed us.
Horrible for taking her to UCF and a Disney trip without her brother and sister.
But never getting her ice cream. She's
You know what?
Ice cream
I don't
before.
think I've ever eaten ice cream there.
We've gotten it once or twice. Not often. We're more Mickey bar.
I'm lactose intolerant. I can't get that.
You could.
I could.
Shouldn't be around you. We're more Mickey bar, Mickey ice cream sandwich people for our snack. Or really, the end of the night, we pop into the confectionery and get something there. Or you get back to the resort and go to the confectionery type thing. A lot of the Ducks resorts have a confectionery type case in their gift shop. So the Contemporary has a really good case of sweets to enjoy at the end of the night. And if that's not open, Contempo Cafe has your Mickey bar for you. But check the hours, because if park closing at 11, sometimes you get back to the resort and nothing's open. So make sure you're watching the hours of the food. But yeah, we had ice cream. I got the old 2 scoops of mint chip in a dish. And Michelle got a cone where they flip it over and put it in a cup like she's a toddler and she can't handle licking it. She was like, what had happened to my cone? I'm like, well, they saw you coming. They didn't want to clean up a mess on Main Street.
That's hilarious. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. You guys slept at the Contemporary, had a good night, well rested, and then what are you doing the next day? Because you have like an hour.
Yeah, so we got Lightning Lane for Guardians.
Why did you choose Epcot, though? It opens later. You could have done any other park a little bit earlier.
It opened the same time as Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios.
Animal Kingdom, you could have got in an hour.
Animal Kingdom was an hour earlier, but Samantha wanted to do Guardians.
Okay.
And I think Michelle did too. So no matter where they went,
and Doug did not.
I can't do it. It was do you want to do Everest a couple times or Guardians once? And they went with Guardians once. So so we bought the individual Lightning Lane for Guardians for those two. We got there for the extra morning magical hour early park entry is what it's called. Why is that the saddest name Disney has given anything that they offer?
It makes sense. It's straight to the point.
It's just to the point. Early park entry.
Yeah.
But like,
works for me.
They've gotten rid of all the flowery language, but yet
they've dumbed it down as easy as possible.
They did. So we were there for that. We were one person ahead of us on the rope for test track. And then people literally sprinted, which I haven't seen for a while, the full-on sprint to test track. I mean, they yelled at them, but until they start, like, doing something to those people that sprint,
cast member just comes out
like,
of the,
like, they get there and, like, you're not getting in line yet. You're going to stand over here.
Yeah, I doubt that happens, but
like, they need to start doing something if that's going to keep happening, because it was wet and it was foggy. So you couldn't even see Spaceship Earth hardly from the entry
I have a
plaza.
picture with me. Like, I love when it's like that, as long as it burns off. But yeah, I have a couple pictures of foggy Spaceship Earth.
So it burned off right when we had to walk all the way back to our car. It was perfect timing for the long walk back to our car. Anyway, we did test track. We were in the first design lab worth of people. Like, you don't have to be the first person to test track because you can be in that first design lab. So you need to be in the first 20 to 30 people. And then when you're done designing, just push on through the door. Michelle yelled at me and said, no, we're going to wait. I'm like, why? Well, we could be first. But also keep in mind, if you push through that door, you're not really first because single rider people, if the ride's going, they've just been loading the car with single riders.
Yes, they have.
So if you're the first group of single riders, you probably get to ride together, but you don't get to design a car. And designing the car is kind of half the attraction.
It's the most fun for my kids.
And then you get to see the scores when everything's working, and it was. And mine from last time was still on there, and it was a phenomenal score. I beat Samantha's car that she made that day, and I'm like, and you want to be an engineer.
I would have made the same dad joke.
Yep, I'm going to say that forever. So it was fun, and then they went pretty much straight to Guardians, and they got in. They weaseled their way in 7 minutes early instead of just 5. So on the individual lightning lanes and the lightning lanes, you can enter up to 5 minutes early. So say your time works at 9, you can go in at 8:55, right? So they got in a few minutes early. She went up there and she's like, can we just go in early? Mm-hmm. And they like, sure. So they were in the second train, I think.
Nice.
Overall. So that worked out really well. And then we were heading to the car in the park. Not really time to do anything else. Everything at Epcot takes a long time. There's no like...
You didn't walk around the world.
No, there's no teacups to just, let's hop on, hop off. No Dumbo to hop on, hop off. I wanted to go do the DuckTales thing, but that by the time I got back to World Showcase, they would have already been off Guardians.
Yep.
And I would have been like, wait for me, I'm in Mexico. And that wouldn't have worked. So we walked to the car. We snapped a picture at the front of the park on the way. The fog had burned off. Got to the car, hopped in the car, drove to the airport, like barely had to slow down. Traffic was great. Rental car, we're going to return the car. Everything's going smooth until the guy in front of me gets to the little spiky things you have to drive over there.
Freak everyone out every time.
Everybody freaks out, right? And you just go. You got to go over them. You got to trust it. Plus, you watch somebody go over them in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like and we had been cruising. The dude throws on his reverse lights. And I'm like, oh my, he's gonna back up. Yeah, backed up, two front flat tires.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was loud. I've never seen it happen.
Oh, I've never seen that happen either. I thought,
loud.
okay.
It's just like pop, just like a pop.
Oh.
And you could hear the air.
And you could hear the groans from everyone that works there.
Oh, and when we're like in the car, like, no, like yelling, there's an employee over the other way, rolls down his windows, no, go. And then I honk like as it's happening because he starts moving. I hit the horn. I should have honked earlier. I feel almost. Actually, if I would have honked, he probably just threw it in reverse sooner.
It went faster, yeah.
Right, and then hit me. I left a lot of space though. When I saw this guy stop, like one tire over and stop, I'm like, I'm gonna sit back here a little.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that's.
So then he went for. They're like, keep going. So he drove up, parked. That car was gone before we were like leaving our car. Like
I want to know how many times a day that happens.
It has to happen regular enough because they were like,
they knew what to do.
But that was fascinating. Never seen it. I didn't see the driver, don't know what they look like or anything. Can't judge, but like first time I ever returned a car, it was like pure like I drive over this. And it's like I think I drive over this and I just did it and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And now I've done it for,
years. And...
They're 15, I don't know, 25 minus 40. It's years, a few years. Yeah, and I just zip over them now, but yeah, and then through TSA.
This is the best part of the trip story.
It was fascinating. Getting to the airport, we were from the Epcot parking lot to our gate in under an hour.
TSA pre-check for the win.
Yeah, security was a snap right onto a tram. right to the gate, and we're like, how the heck did we get here? We thought we were gonna we might be pushing this a little, right? We get there, we're like, how do we have so much time? I never had to slow down and there was construction. Like, we sat on 417 the other day coming the other direction, and I saw that direction sitting. And that was at like 5 o'clock so 9 in the morning wasn't as stressful.
There you go.
But yeah, the tires popping.
That's crazy.
Fascinating to see. And I feel bad for the person, because I'm sure they had to be like a wreck afterwards too.
Oh yeah.
Just like shaking.
Well, do they have to pay for that? Is that covered?
Oh my God, they'd have to, right?
Yeah.
Because there's signs everywhere.
Yeah. Well, if you've ever done that, let us know at Rope Drop Radio and all the things.
Never rented a car before. There's going to be the little spikes. You just drive over them.
Drive over the spikes. Don't back up. Yep.
It looks like it's going to shred your tires, but trust me, it won't. Until you back up, then it does a very efficient job. It was so loud.
Well, you proved that they work. I always wondered. So there you go.
I kind of wondered, because you go over them and it's like, well, that doesn't do anything.
Well, they're at the angle.
Yeah. Also, when we rented our car, I did take a picture of all the, you know how I take forever to pick out a car trick?
Always.
This picture, there's no cars. So there was 3 cars to pick from. One had a headlight out. That's why you always do the walk around. Like, I get in the car, I start it, turn on the headlights, and Michelle does the walk around, films it to get all the little nicks and stuff. And she's like, there's a headlight out. So we're like, well, not that car, because last thing you need is rent a car and go get pulled over for a headlight being out. And so then we got, the other car was something I don't like to drive, and then the other one. So I guess, well, that's it.
Fate had it. That's the one. There you go. All right.
I didn't get to pick. It picked for me. You would have enjoyed that.
I would have. See, I film you filming the car, and then I put on our Patreon page. And if you want to see that type of video, you're going to have to go in the show notes and see
I have to do my own walk around when I travel with Derek.
It's true. Because it's more fun to record you recording stuff. That's how we get
very
more Patreons.
Critical.
It is.
The walk around's important. We have seen, one time we were with Alex, he returned a car, and they're like, oh, there's a dent here. And they're going to, charge him. He pulls up his video and
shows the dent.
Yep. And they're like, oh, okay. My bad. We didn't have it. I don't know that they said my bad. But yeah, the airport, that was the only thing fast about the airport, though.
And then you get delayed, but you're back.
That will be the Patreon show, folks.
All right, sounds good. If you want to hear that, you're going to have to go in the Patreon, in the show notes, click that Patreon link. We're going to get to that show next. I'm glad you had a good time. I want to hear what do our listeners think? Is Samantha going to go to UCF? Is she going to go to Nebraska? Where is she going to go? Let us know. And here we go. So thank you guys so much for listening and supporting Rope Drop Radio.